Hey, what it do, guys? What it do? Bless up. Wild hair, freeform dreads. D back again for another video. Um, I was kidding at first, trying to see because the light is always kind of weird and funny. But this video, guys, I just want to kind of talk a little bit. So it might be about 5 or 6 minutes. Got a slight stomach ache, so if I'm doing this video, it must be for a really, really good purpose because my stomach is like, ugh. But about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, I was listening to a broadcast on YouTube, and the person was talking about the epidemic of um, people um, not having friends. Whether it be not having friendship, whether it be feeling alone, in some cases feeling isolated. But this more so dealt with people not really having friends, like either not having a friend or not having not developed a friend within the last like 4 or 5 years, and that's kind of like an epidemic now. Um, but we got to understand something. As the more Western culture moves into a culture that's before I say that, let me say this. Every culture has their own ways and methods of dealing with situations, whether that be a culture in South America, whether it be a culture in Africa, which is thousands of a culture in Africa, whether it be a culture in the Middle East, all over the world, cultures have their own methods of solving issues, whether it be relationship stuff, jobs, trade. Cultures have a different way of developing. But I've noticed, and particularly with us in the quote unquote African American community, um, it's almost like the culture that we've now took on ourselves in the last, I would probably say, 50 to 60 years, is a culture that's not necessarily our culture. It's a culture that promotes self. It promotes the individual. It promotes fragile and false ego. It promotes a division amongst men and women. It promotes, being at odds. It promotes, like I said, selfishness, bitterness, so many different roots. This type of culture fosters, and the more the people move into it, the sicker they'll become, the more depressed they'll become, the more isolated they'll become, the more dependent upon technology they'll become. Because in essence, what we're seeing, guys, we're seeing a disconnect from nature, God, family, and friendships. Those three things are kind of going away of the world: friendships, nature, you know relationship with God, and stuff like that. So even the closeness of people is not like it used to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why you have to really try to be in control of your thoughts and your mindset. Because if you turn on the news, everything is fear. You'll be so afraid you don't even want to be around your families or friends. But unity, friendship, relationships, they're very important. They're very important, and I kind of dislike it. I've talked in the past how that's kind of like a passion of mine, but I really dislike how they did that in the African American community, made it where it was cool to be alone and I don't need a man. Or now I'm hearing a lot of guys say this: I don't need a woman. I don't need. None of this is healthy. A house divided cannot stand. We're gonna have to. A lot of people are gonna have to die to the humility, die to the pride, die to the false misconceptions that the American Western way promotes. Because I don't care how much money you got, I don't care how many degrees you got, I don't care any of that. If you don't have friendship, you don't have, a person to laugh with, to cry with, you don't have a brother that you can lean on, if you don't have that relative you can talk to, guys, it's not worth it. That's the way God intended for it to be. He said, be fruitful and to multiply. And what I said earlier, it's an attack on everything that is natural, everything that produces with seed in it.